during my producing journey, my melodies went from this to this. And finally today my beats sound like this. I was making a lot of progress on the way, but still sometimes I was in a situation when I can't make any proper melody at all. But literally recently I finally overcame this struggle. And here is why, probably why I was able to do that. By the way, I'm Mordalski and I can help you make your first K-Selig beats. Okay, so at first, even since my literally day one making beats, I used to sometimes literally randomly make something that sounded proper. I mean literally first days, weeks, months, I was able to make something randomly that sounded proper. But it was more like the relationship to proper melodies, to bad melodies was like 10 bad melodies and I finally can make proper one. Okay, then on the way I was climbing the ladder of producers, let's say. I was becoming more successful, more experienced, more skilled, and then you know I was able to make some proper melody every day. I came to this point where I can sit every day, and if I focus for long enough I can make at least one proper melody. But honestly, I was already like 4 years in the game, because right now I'm 4 years plus in the game, but like literally 2 months ago, I finally got to the point where I can just sit and I'm sure my melody will not suck basically, because literally even like half year ago, so almost 4 years into this, I was sitting, my producing session, I was thinking, okay, I will make 3 beats today, and to be honest, 2 melodies, like at least I was just sure that from those 3 beats, at best 2 melodies will be proper, 1 beat will have to go to the trash bin, because 1 melody, and it's not because I will like mix this third beat in the bad way, the sound selection will suck, just my melody will be not proper. So generally my like ratio went from like 10 bad melodies to 1 melody to recently like 2 good melodies, 1 bad melody. So yeah, that's a hell of a progress, but still I was sometimes struggling and I had no idea and on some days I had no idea what the fuck I'm supposed to do. So I sometimes had to go with some loops, with some samples, maybe starting with drums, maybe starting with bass, or with some basic chord progression, because I had no idea what to do with my melody. So now let's talk about what changed in last few months and what were the generally, and by the way, because this last shift in my melodies career is like for kind of pro producers, so already for guys who are a lot of in the game, so it's kind of conversation between us advanced prods, like 3-4 years in the game. But I also had to went from making those 10 bad melodies to 1, okay, because it was anyway, it was more important to go from this totally trash level to this proper level. So I will talk about all those important shifts in my skill set, in my mindset, in my experience. Okay, so first thing that improved my melodies forever was basically doing less. Okay, so generally I'm the big fan of like these words that I think I came up with them. Like I didn't came up with them, but generally I'm always telling other producers in producing beats, more means fucking less. Like literally, if you already have drums, you already have some bass and have any kind of melody, with just one fucking simple melody pattern, it means your beat is done. Okay? And sometimes you could put some sound effect, maybe some little counter melody, maybe some layer, maybe you will add this bell sound at the beginning. But to be honest, if you have melody, drums and bass, the basic fucking common sense, your beat is done. And you could now think about improving it, but generally your beat is done. And that's something that I have to this is something that I came up with more than 1 year ago, but it's something that I will have to think about 1 year from now too, because I still sometimes I'm sitting, I already have melody, bass, drums, and I'm sitting there for like 20 minutes thinking, why this counter melody doesn't sit here? Why this like bass layer doesn't work here? And I'm sitting, I check like 10 sounds, 20 sounds, 50 sounds, and after this like 20 minutes, or in more extreme cases 1 hour, I finally realized, fuck, like this beat is fucking done. This beat is done. Like, maybe this is for the hook, and in the verse I can remove this pattern and I can add another one, but this specific part of the beat is ready. I'm not going to improve it. Me adding more things to the beat will only make it worse, okay? So this first point is not about making a better melody at all. It's about not fucking up your entire melody, okay? Because it is really hard to go with proper melodies if you already have melody. Okay, because that's the biggest problem of beginning producers. They already have drums, bass, some sound effects. They have their main melody or some main chord progression, and then they think, yeah, this beat will be better if I add something. Like, they're thinking, okay, I have one melody, so it's good, so I will have two melodies at once, it will be even better. And that's the biggest fucking problem with your mindset at the beginning, okay? This is something that destroys your beat. This is something that will destroy, that will bury proper ideas. I can't emphasize enough how many times I've made something really fucking nice, and then I decided, yeah, I will add this one extra chord progression, and it sounded totally fucking off. I was once on this fucking call with rapper, and he's telling me like how much he loves my beat. He's telling me, yo, bro, this beat is so good, like this drums, this great crazy groove. I already have song with this, but please, for Christ's sake, please remove this piano from the hook. Literally, guy was ready to fucking buy what this melody was think and stop him from buying. That was like the big fucking no, the big no from him, the big red no in the center of the screen, let's say, okay? So now you're thinking, yeah, if I add more to the beat will be worth more. No. If you add more to the beat, and if you're not at least 3 years in the game, your beat will get worse, okay? I think that literally, till you make your first $1,000 selling beats, or at least, I know, get some first 1,000 subscribers, or you hit some first like bigger achievement on your way up to the billboard, let's say, you should not think about making some extra layers, extra chord progressions, beat switches, sound effects, 20 drum patterns. You should just stick to melody, drum, bass. It's hard enough to make simple beats, so making complex beat is like 10 times more difficult. So yeah, basically the bottom line of this first advice is, don't bury your melody, because it will be harder. This is not the fact that you can't create counter melodies, chord progressions on some little pieces of melodies like throughout your beat. The problem is you already have ready beat, and now you try to add something, okay? This is really, let's take a look at water bottle. It's really fucking easy for me to pour something inside where there is still space. Let's say we have no drums. Yeah, it's pretty fucking easy to put drums to this bottle. But if the bottle would be fucking full, yeah, this is really fucking difficult now to pour more water into the full bottle. Okay? This is exactly a rhyme, so maybe you will remember. It's hard to pour more water in the full bottle. Okay? This is I came up with this shit right now, so it sounds kind of lame, but I think that it kind of sums up properly this point. Okay, so first advice is do less. Another advice is think less. So now it goes specifically to melodies, okay? Because this first advice is more about just preparing your beat, preparing your productions for better melodies. But now let's focus on melodies. So what think less means? Okay, so I really often had this problem that I'm sitting and I'm just clicking into my MIDI keyboard because I already made a beat, and now I'm trying to make another beat for today, okay? So I'm kind of already done with my producing session, but I still have like fuel inside, so I think, yeah, I will click a little. And I make like, very simple melody with literally like, 3 notes in like, let's say A minor. So I literally go like, let's say A, B, C, okay? I try to go A, B, C, I know, A, B, C, C, B, B, A, okay? This is like, I don't even need to hear this thing to tell you that it would sound kind of proper, okay? It would be A, B, C, C, A, B, C, okay? It doesn't sound like that, but generally it would sound kind of okay. So I'm making this really simple piano melody, let's say, and I'm thinking, yeah, but I already made a beat, like normal beat for today, so now I need to make something really interesting, something like, something brain fucking it should brain your blow out, okay? It should blow up your fucking brain with this new melody that I will create. So then, instead of just sticking to this first melody, I totally delete instrument. I delete instrument I was using. I use some other instrument that sounds more, I don't know, advanced, and I try to make melody that also sounds more advanced. But the thing is, the best melodies, you know, they are using like 3 notes. Okay, they are using literally like 3 notes. So what was my problem with creating this simple melody? This melody was good. I could use that, I could use nice instruments for that, I could do some layering, then I could even add some simple chord progression behind it, okay? I could do some interesting thing with that, but I thought, no, it's too simple, I'm better than that. And that's the stupidest thing I've ever done in my life. I've slept on like thousands of proper beats because of that. Right now, if I'm clicking in the MIDI keyboard, and I can hear something nice, I just go with that, okay? Sometimes I will create basic as beat, it will get no views, nobody will want to buy that, okay, sure. But sometimes I'll just make this beat, it sounds simple as fuck, but by the way, simple melody doesn't mean simple beat at all. You can create this simple melody with 3 notes, and then you add some chord progression, then you add some 20 layers, okay, on this melody. You create some beat switch in the middle, you create 3 different basses, like 3 different drum patterns, okay? And all this stuff around one simple melody from 3 notes, literally. Just when you take a look at like pro melodies, they are not like using every fucking note on the planet, because there's really not so many notes in the minor scale, and all of us are using any fucking minor scale, okay? Because Phrygian scale also could be a minor scale. There's like a quick disclaimer. So even if you think you're smarter because you use Phrygian scale, it's also the same notes as minor scale or major scale. So yeah, we are all using very limited set of notes. We are not going to get really fucking smart by using more notes. Like, this is really like beginning producer who doesn't know think. He will think that adding more notes to his melody will improve his melody. Pro producer makes good melody with 3 notes and he thinks, fuck yeah, let's go. Fuck yeah, it sounds proper, okay? So my advice number 2 here is, if you can hear something nice, it's something nice, you should make big with that. You should make beat with that. We are producers, our one and only mission is making nice beats, is making nice sound, is making fucking proper melodies. So if you can hear one, even if it's the most basic melody ever seen in the world, even you have like 2 notes, so literally, let's say in the Phrygian scale, you go literally, let's say C, C sharp, C, C sharp, C, C sharp, C sharp, okay? If you literally go like this, nothing wrong with that, okay? If it sounds good, it sounds good, and I don't want to think, I don't even want to consider if this is melody too simple. If it sounds good, it sounds fucking good. People want to hear nice, simple things. They don't want to, like, in classical music, we could like go crazy, create like, 16 bars, some chord progression with 20 different chords, with some, but we're making rap, man, or even if we make some pop, some house, it's still not that fucking deep. We make this way or another kind of popular music, because rap is also popular music, okay? We don't want to get too smart, okay? We are not making just like, let's be honest, you're listening, you're a producer, you want to make some money, you want to make some views, you are not some jazz instrumentalist, okay? We just want to make some views, make some money, want to make proper beats. I to be honest, I wouldn't even want to make like those really complex, like those kind of Mozart type of melodies. Like it's not really my thing. I don't really like that. To be honest, I just like simple rap beats. That's why I got into the game. You probably are in the game for the same reason, because if you're watching this, I guess you're kind of similar to me, okay? So just this, the advice number 2, think less about your melodies. If they sound good, they sound good. It's like, by the way, another bottom line of this advice is just, you will get bored by your ideas way quicker than every other people, okay? People watching you, people checking your beats, people that you will sell beats to, people that will listen to music with your beats, they will not get bored so quickly, because your problem is they don't know you. So if they find your basic melody that you already repeated in like 20 different beats, they can see only one beat, they can hear only one beat. Okay, so you will get bored because you are behind all those similar melodies, but guys listening to you will find you, okay, will just discover you, so they will not be bored. Remember, you will get bored way fucking quicker than they will get bored. Now, advice number 3, which is very important, but it's also very fucking basic. So I didn't want to give it at the beginning because I would probably like you would probably think that I'm going to give you some total general bullshit in this video. But last thing, like last proper advice is just music theory. You need some music theory, man, okay? Because yeah, there are those stories that Beatles they didn't know music theory and they've made like a lot of albums. Like rappers don't know music theory. Like sure, there are a lot of successful musicians across the whole fucking history that didn't know music theory. I can agree, but since we are not the most talented guys in the world, since we are not the most experienced guys in the world, since we are not the most connected guys in the world, we don't have the best gear, we don't have the best plugins, we are some bedroom producers generally. Like I'm bedroom producer, you're also kind of bedroom producer, okay? We're just trying to go from this first level of production. We need to have some fucking advantage, okay? If we want to just, you know, kind of blindly guess every other next musical choice, we're just wasting time, okay? Because that's the, like, you can guess what kind of chord progression will sound the best, but what's the point of that if you can just, you know, study music theory for like few hours and you will understand like 90% of whole necessary information in the whole thing, okay? So the most, like, one of the most important things that improved my melodies was understanding total fucking basics of music theory, okay? So you don't need to learn like 50 scales, you don't need to learn, like, because people have this, I think that a lot of people don't really understand what music theory will teach you. Actually, music theory is not something that will teach you some rules like you need to remember 20 chords and you need to play on the piano like a fucking machine. Actually, music theory is just understanding how scales work, how chord progressions work, how are they built, and how intervals between specific notes are working, okay? So I want you to understand. And I want to understand the, like, kind of a science behind the musical scales, okay? Science behind chord progressions and of notes intervals. This is, I found this thing in some literally like free course on the Google. It was, I think this website doesn't exist anymore because Google kind of changed it, but I think you could find this course. It was like Edinburgh Musical School. It was on the Coursera, which was a website of Google, okay? And there was like all necessary informations, like going from totally like brain dead level, okay? Explaining that, yeah, we have A, B, C, D notes, okay? Literally something like that. If I will be able to find this specific course, I will literally give you a link because that's all what you need. And you also will have some tests at the end of that, so it's like really fucking great way to learn some basics, because I actually have some videos on music theory. I'm not sure if they are public, but by the way, yeah, you can actually DM me on Instagram and I will basically give you access to my music theory courses. Yeah, it will go this way. But like generally, just learn music theory. It will make your melodies better in the long run, okay? Even if your first days, if you're like, you will learn about complete fucking basics. So let's say, how does work minor scale, how major scale works, why major is sometimes minor, and vice versa. You will think this is some bullshit sometimes, but yeah, understanding the basics will let you later understand advanced stuff, okay? So just advice number 3, study fucking music theory. Like your action step for this advice is just go DM me on Instagram. I will give you access to my free music theory course, basically, okay? So that's all about this advice. So I want to give you a like kind of a bottom line of all those 3 advices, okay? So I called it like the biggest mindset shift. I literally read it because I had to write this down. It's more about way of using notes than about notes by themselves, okay? It's more about what kind of instruments are we using, what kind of layering we use, what kind of automation, mixing, what kind of what kind of details are behind the notes. Don't ever think about the notes too much. Your melody will be good with 3-4 notes and that's all. Your melody could be basic as fuck. The real thing that will make your melody better is using some interesting sound selection, using some interesting layering, maybe some interesting rhythm, okay? Because we could literally use one melody that would go like, no, let's say in A minor, A, B, C, C, okay? Literally, okay? It would go like this, like, no, one note, one bar, A, B, C, C. But you could also go A, B, 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 C. Okay, so I don't want to get too retarded with this explanation. I would rather explain it in the FL Studio, so I will give you some example from my own beats. But generally, it's not about your notes, okay? You could go really crazy, you could create some interesting melody using one note, which doesn't even probably, we couldn't even call it literally a melody, but if we use some automation for pitch, if you use some sound selection, if we use some, no, some weird generally sound effects, we could make melody with one note literally. So remember, proper usage, like in proper way of using one note, it's better to use one note in a proper way than 20 fucking notes in a shit way. So focus on way of using it. It's not about note, it's about way of using it. Like, I repeated myself like 10 times already with this one sentence, but this is so important, okay? And by the way, it goes the same for chords. When you are advanced, because by the way, if you're producing for less than a year and you're not familiar with music theory, don't even try to get into like chords. Like, you will be good with just melodies. Don't try to get into some complex chord progressions. But if you're a little bit more advanced, if you use chord progressions, never try to get too smart with making just, one bar, one chord type of thing, okay? So you go A minor, then B minor, or something like that, okay? Because that's not how pros use chord progressions. Real pros use chord progressions, for example, to create melodies, okay? So they are creating chord progression, and they are then make kind of like complex arpeggio from that, and then they are creating melody. Or let's say just they are using this basic thing, but then they are playing notes over that, okay? So it's like, I may show you some examples on my own beats how I'm using that, because when you use chord progression, never try to get too smart with using like 20 different chords in one progression. It's usually about four chords. 4 chords is more than enough, but then you need to use it in like interesting ways. So use some arpeggio. You may just cut them so they are sound like you make them more rhythmical, or you just play notes over them, okay? So you play A minor, but then you are also playing some notes over that, so it sounds way more interesting than just using plain chord progression, okay? So that's my whole advice for this. If you want to know more about making beats, if you want to connect and to network with other producers, if you want to also work with me directly, if you want to get a lot of knowledge about making beats, selling your beats also specifically, you can check my first link in the description. This is my first product, so I explain everything in the video on the sales page. But generally, if you watch this and you're feeling like you want to improve your beats and you want to start selling them, this is simply the best product that you will find on the internet, with probably the best relationship between the price to the value that you will get, okay? This ratio, value to price, is just nuts. You can just check it by yourself. So go into first link in the description. That's all for today. Bye.